It's your sleep is God back finally. I know I've been gone for a week with what if Naruto had the Speed Force? Uh, with our recap, what happened was Naruto basically was fixing up kunais in his room as he was. He's basically these kunais are shit still. Like they're still like the pointy like the pointy edge were completely broken off, or like the handle was smashed or something like that. Like these kunais are still fucking terrible. As he's basically saying like he's like these are so useless. As like he goes back, he starts getting hungry, so he goes to Uchiraka Ramen's place. As he eats there, he gets like a free meal from Uchiraka Ramen because he is his only customer, and and Uchiraka Ramen is a really nice guy, so he's like, okay. As Uchiraka Ramen guy was realized Naruto came here alone because he has no parents, by himself in the middle of the cold, while it's like snowing outside and lightning. No fear, just to get some food. So he's like, "Hey Naruto, why don't you stay?" And he's like, as Naruto's like, "No, I can't. You already gave me a free meal. I can't stay." So he left. And but when he was like halfway before his house, he smelled blood, and he felt bloodlust. So he ran back to the Uchiraka Ramen place, and he saw uh, Uchiraka Ramen's daughter. Like like her hair was getting hold in the back as Uchiraka Ramen guy got his head completely chopped off his own like body as the entire time he's like he has so much anger and just rage and bloodlust, so he grabs one of his kunais as he flicks it forward like ready to stab, as lightning strikes, as it strikes him and the two other guys, killing the other two guys, but not killing the daughter, as it goes straight into his body. As you like he feels this energy, as when he wakes up into the hospital, he basically he's like, I don't know what happened, as he tries to get out of the bed. He's like, oh, let's test if my body's still like back. As he like lightning fast goes to the other side of the room. As he just starts flying around the room, just seeing how fast he can go. As like he sees like the room, like the door slowly open in slow motion as he blitzes back. As the nurse says to Naruto when she realizes he's up, he's like, you shouldn't be up. You should be still unconscious from that lightning strike. He's like, ah, no, I'm fine. He's like, ah, yeah, I know you're probably fine, but let me, get. And it's like the nurse is like, oh yeah, you're probably fine, but let me get the lower third real quick. You know, let him like talk to you a little bit. He's like, oh yeah, Naruto, yeah, that's fine. You know where my clothes are? He's like, yeah, it's in that closet over there. As he basically says, fuck you to lower third and leaves. As when he was like making his new shoes, is making basically Converses, really compact, really that can take a lot of impact damage. He got a knock on the door with a bunch of Ambu members or people with masks. As he said, Lord Third wants to talk to you. As it was just a simple message. As when they started walking away, Naruto peeked out and said, "Hey, if you ever find those guys, if they're not dead or anything like that, because he doesn't know if they're dead or not, let me figure out how to torture them or kill them. I want the decision." As the Anbu members, one of the Anbu members, Kakashi Hatake, looks at him and nods his head, saying, "Yeah, we'll talk about it." As that's where we last left off. As let's start the video. As we see Naruto in his room, basically like it's been like 10 minutes, doesn't know 10 to 5 minutes when the Anbu got away, as he's just crying because before this he hasn't process what the fuck just happened. It's been such a flash of, oh, now I have super speed or something like that, and now I was in a hospital, and then he realizes the Uchiraka Ramen guy is dead now. his basically only father figure, the only person that really loved him and cared about him and took care of him, is dead. As he's like, wait, what about her? What about his daughter? What about her? As he's like, I need to find out where she is. As he looks at the clock and it's been like almost like 13 to 15 minutes. He's like, I shouldn't wait Lord Third long enough. As he starts walking to the Hokage's I don't know if I should call it an office. Yeah, the office. Not using his super speed, just walking normally. As he makes it there, as you see, the lower third is doing paperwork and all that stuff when he walks in. But when Naruto walks in, instantaneously shoves that all to the side. As he puts down his pen and he says, "Sit." As Naruto looks at him and says, "No, no, I'll rather stand." As lower third sighs. I know what happened was very traumatic and an experience for you, but I want you to realize that I'm always here. As Naruto like has this like smirk on his face, he's like, yes, always here for me, always here for me. As like Lord Third is like looking at him and like he's getting like Lord Third's like, yes, I'm always going to be here for you, no matter what, no matter what happens to you. As Naruto looks at him and says, "Can I leave?" As he says, "Yes, yes, you can go." As Naruto, who still has like these bright, just red, eyes, because you can see just like how when he was crying, like the tear marks, when he starts walking out, before he opens the door, he says, "You know where the Uchiraka Ramen guy's daughter is?" "Oh, yes, she's in the same hospital that you were in a couple of, well, actually hours ago." As he looks at, as Lord Third looks at Naruto, as he's like, "You think you should be standing? Maybe, maybe take a load off." As Naruto looks at him and says, "Only the weak, only the weak fall from a simple injury as a lightning strike. The strong shall last forever if the weak will sit down from that." As Naruto shuts the door, as Lord Thirst just in the room, just thinking about it and how, when he said, "I'll be there for anything," Naruto went just completely silent, like no comment, no nothing, just completely silent. As he's like, "Was I there for you, Naruto, every time? Maybe I need to be a better person. Maybe be a better, a guardian. But I'm there most of the time. I'm helping him out. I'm paying his rent." As he realized that he's only paying enough for the rent for the house, or he's only paying enough for just rent for the house and a little bit more. He's not paying for kunais. He's not paying for food. He's not really paying for like clothes, like new clothes. As he's like all the things that a child want, like games and stuff like that. He's not paying for that. So like every time they've seen Naruto with kunais. So like every time Naruto has a kunai, it has been something that's like he had fixed himself or something about himself. He doesn't like know. As Lord Third's like, "I will have to fix that soon." As you can see that Naruto now actually uses his super speed to get to the hospital, as everyone is moving in slow motion. As he's trying to like hit his top speed, as his like right now his top speed is around half the speed of light. Like that's his like top. Like he tries to go anything faster than that, and his body starts just crumbling as he can't get any faster than that. So he just blitzes as the top speed he possibly can. down the just the roadway as he gets to the hospital in record time of like 3 seconds. No, it was around like 4 or 5 seconds. As he gets there and he's like, actually not even 4 to 5. It's like 3. As he walks into, as he stops right outside of a room, as right when he opens the door, he hears like buttons and like things, like basically keeping her alive in a kind of a sense. Because not really keeping her alive, but keeping her well. As he walks in, as he sees bandages across her chest. She's still unconscious. As you see like almost like he also sees like rope burns from the guys tying her wrist up on her wrist. As he sees just all these injuries, as he just gets angrier and angrier. As he looks over her body, he's like trying to figure out. As one of the nurses walk in, he's like, as she's talking, like, oh yeah, did you hear about Naruto, right? She's not looking in the room. Yes, he escaped basically, and still trying to find him. As when he looks over, he sees Naruto sitting by the bedside, like, holding her hand, just tears going down his face. As he looks at him, he's like, oh, as he's like, as Naruto, in a blink of an eye, grabs the nurse's hand, looks at her in her eyes, and he's 5, and says, "If you say a single word about me being here at this time, I will make sure that every life experience you have, wedding, anniversary, everything, something will go wrong. Just tiny things that irritate you, tiny. One of your shoes are missing. Your lovely brush is gone, or something like that. And I will make sure that small irritations in your normal life will always happen. So do not tell anyone I'm here." As another nurse is walking around the corner, did you anything happen? As Naruto's like when she looks over in the blink of an eye, Naruto's back in the chair as he's like, oh no, nothing. Just she looks like she's recovering really well. As like, oh yeah, she's definitely a fighter. As the nurse shuts the door on Rouge Rakurami's guy's daughter and Naruto, as he starts back to crying. As finally he just wipes away the tears and he just says, I'm a man. I'm I'm going to I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna save you. I'm going to be a better person. As he goes back into his house, as he's still crying, as he's just collapsed on the ground basically. As he gets a knock on his door, as he says, like he like yells this, "No one's home. No one's home." He gets another knock. He's like, "Fuck." He opens the door as he sees a white-haired man with his with a mask on and his headband covering one of his eyes. We all know him as Kakashi, but we don't know him as he's like says Naruto Uzumaki. As he like does like a little bow as like he says yeah, as as just a bunch of money like out of like Kakashi's pocket basically. He drops it on the ground and says, "Here's your allowance." As he's like, "This is a lot more than last time." As Lord Third wants you to have a little bit more freedom. But he also still wants you to come up to him to talk about some couple of things. As he looks at him and says, "How? Now. No waiting 15 minutes. Now." As Kakashi kind of gives his aura of like seriousness and saying like, "You must do this now. I am not waiting." As Naruto basically says, "Okay," and starts going up with Kakashi and talking to Kakashi a little bit. And Kakashi's giving him information about like because Naruto's talking about the Great Ninja War. He's I kind of heard you about like were you in the Great Ninja War? Like he's like yeah, like yeah, I was in the Great Ninja War. I was like he starts
he starts having a little bit of flashbacks with the Rin. He says no, no. As he looks up at one of the fourth Hokage, he said, "Were you there when were you ever fighting with the Yellow Flash or anything?" As Kakashi looks down and smiles and says, "Oh yeah, he was my sensei." As he's like, "Wait, you had sensei with the Yellow Flash?" As Naruto is still a 5 year old. I was like, "Yeah, oh my god, oh my gosh, you must be like super famous." As Kashi's like, "Oh well, famous is like I think a light, I think a long term thing, but I'm not that famous. It's just a role." As we finally get up to the into the Hokage's office, as the Lord Third and Naruto start talking. Naruto's being a little bit sarcastic as Kakashi's kind of laughing in the background. As Lord Third's like, "But with the extra money and all that stuff, I want someone to train you, especially in martial arts, because it feels like that's your roughest subject right now." As he says, "Is Kakashi gonna train me in martial arts and stuff?" As Kakashi kind of starts laughing, he says, "No, no, no. I'm gonna train you in chakra control." As Mike Guy busts into the door and says, "Ah, I am going to train you in hand-to-hand combat." Like he was listening the entire time. As like Naruto's like, "Who is this fucking whackball with this tracksuit on?" As Hokage was like, "This is my guy, our strongest shinobi in hand-to-hand combat." As like my guy's like having a high he's like, "Oh, Kakashi, my old rival." As like both of them are starting to argue, as Naruto looks around and he sees a younger boy. Looks like he has almost like a bowl cut like my guy, but still has like his younger hairstyle. As he bows to Naruto, as Naruto bows to him, as this is Lee. As this is where we're going to end it off this time. I know it's a little bit shorter than the last one, but 29-minute video kind of covers a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.